friends, my name's Lauren.
And I'm Firefighter Brian.
And we work for Santa Clara County Fire Department. Santa Clara County Fire Department covers 7 different cities and towns within Santa Clara County. So if you live in Campbell, Los Gatos, Montecito, Saratoga, Cupertino, Los Altos, or Los Altos Hills, Santa Clara County Fire is your fire department. Now we are super excited that you're here today because today we're going to be teaching you 8 different life and fire safety skills. And to help us teach you those skills, we've asked a bunch of our friends here at County Fire to help demonstrate and walk you through the process of how to make these skills work properly.
Hey Lauren, what's that over there?
Oh, I'm so glad that you asked that, Brian. This is my magic bag.
Oh, okay.
Now this magic bag is any magic bag. This magic bag is going to be telling us which skill we learned today is the most important. And you see in front of me, I have 8 different color scarves.
Makes sense.
So each one of these scarves represents a skill that we're going to be teaching you today. And after every 2 skills that you learn, we're going to come back here to our magic bag.
Okay.
We're going to do some magic.
Ooh.
We're going to tell some super funny jokes.
Oh, I got you there.
And at the very, very end, we're going to have a super special person come, do some magic, and then reach into our bag and pull out the most important scarf.
So we're going to pull out whatever scarf gets pulled out as the most
Yes,
important.
so whatever scarf gets pulled out of this bag at the very end represents the most important skill.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So right now we don't have any scarves in our bag, so we need to start learning our skills. So our first 2 skills are up next, and Brian, I think you're going to be the one teaching us our first skill. Yeah, skill number 1. Go, quick,
Okay.
quick,
Okay,
go,
I'll be back.
go.
Hey, what you doing?
Oh, I'm just lighting the barbecue.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, those are matches and lighters. Matches and lighters. Do you know what these do? Oh, these make fire. So did you know that matches and lighters can make good fire, but they can also make bad fire? Yeah, so like if you're cooking food on a barbecue, is that good fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good fire. Yeah, because fire can give us heat, it can cook our food and give us light. Right now, what if your house was on fire? Would that be a bad
fire?
Bad fire, yeah. What if you have candles on a celebration cake?
That would be good.
Good fire, yeah. Then you blow them out and then eat the cake. Yeah, what if your homework was to catch on fire?
That would be bad.
Oh, that would be bad, yeah. What if you were like having a campfire and you were roasting marshmallows, but everybody was really paying attention and it was in a safe place? Would that be a good fire?
Yeah, it would be good.
Okay, yeah. What if somebody was to leave that campfire and then the campfire was to get out of control and then it was to start a grass fire?
Bad
Oh,
fire.
that'd be a bad fire, yeah. So matches and lighters can start both good fires and bad fires, but that's why they're tools for adults. And they're not toys for kids. We should never play with these, right? If you find these, make sure you always give them to an adult.
Okay.
Do you think that the matches and lighters, this is a safe place to leave them? No, because we want to make sure they're in a safe place so that young kids can't play with them, right? So what about like leaving them on the counter in the kitchen?
That would be bad.
Yeah, what about the counter in the bathroom?
No.
No, outside on the table?
No.
No, we want to keep them in a place that's hard for kids to get to, right? Like almost impossible. So parents and guardians, it's really important to keep matches and lighters in a place where it's very difficult for young children to get to, like a locked cabinet or high above, like above the refrigerator or something. I'm gonna go put them away, okay?
Okay.
Well, that was fun.
That was awesome, Brian. Thank you so much for teaching us about matches and lighters.
That could be the most important skill we talk about all day.
It just might be. But before we decide the most important skill, we're going to head on over to our Cupertino station to see firefighter Roger so he can teach us some more safety information about smoke alarms.
A really important part of our home escape planning is having good working smoke alarms. So smoke alarms can save lives. The good thing is that a lot of homes have them, but we have to learn to maintain them properly so when there is a fire or emergency at your house, it will do its job. So the way these smoke alarms work is that it's got a nose that can smell smoke. So when we go to install these, what do you think is the best place to put it?
Up high.
Up high where all the smoke is.
That's right. So if there's a fire, smoke's going to go up and the good air is down below. So we have a good example up high where our smoke alarm is installed. Now we're going to talk about how do we maintain our smoke alarm. So we want to make sure this works if there's an emergency. So there's a couple ways to do it. If you look closely, there's a couple buttons on here. One says push to hush, and that's if you're cooking and you get a lot of smoke, you can hush it. And the other button says push and hold to test. So we want to do this at least once a month to make sure the battery's working. Sometimes some models, they have a 10-year lithium battery that's built in. So you can replace the whole thing after 10 years and you don't have to worry about replacing the battery. But it's important for us to test it. And in order to test it, if it's high up, it's going to be mounted somewhere, so we'll need something that can reach it, maybe something like this. Cal, do you want to try? Mm-hmm. So you can reach up, and you're going to push that button, and we're holding it. Did you hear that beep? So that makes us know that it works. Sorry, it's kind of loud, but that's what it's going to sound like when we test it. Okay. Okay, so when we hear that loud beeping sound, what does that mean?
It means it's a fire.
We might have a fire in our house. So which way is the smoke going to go?
Up.
Okay, so do we want to run out of the house or do we want to crawl low?
Crawl low.
Very good. Okay, so after we've crawled low and got out, where do we go?
To our meeting place.
Very good. Which can be what?
A mailbox, a tree,
Even a corner.
or a neighbor's house.
Very good. You guys remembered. Great job.
Thanks, Firefighter Roger, for showing us all about smoke alarms.
Hey, Lauren.
What?
I think it's time for some magic.
I think you're right. Awesome. So we just learned 2 really important skills. But Brian, like you said, it's time for some magic. But in order to do magic, we need our magic hats.
Okay.
Let me go find them. I found them.
Oh,
Here you go. So this one's yours, and this one's mine.
how do I look?
You look great.
All right.
But we also need our magic wand.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to give that to you. I'm going to grab our magic bag.
Okay.
So we don't have anything in our magic bag. We have nothing because we need to put these scarves in.
Okay.
So this red scarf represents our first skill, which was matches and lighters safety. So why don't you hold that?
Okay.
Now, Brian, if we find matches and lighters, what do we need to do?
Tell an adult or give them to an adult and then make sure they get stored in a safe place.
Right, so you're gonna put that scarf in there. So red was matches and lighters.
Mm-hmm.
This pink scarf represents smoke alarms. So that was another skill that we learned. So why don't you take this, skill number 2,
Okay.
why don't you hold that? Okay. So Brian, how often should we test our smoke alarm?
We test them once a month.
We test them once a month.
We can test them, yeah.
Right, and what's a good object we can use to help test them?
Like a broom?
A broom would be a really good object
yeah.
because we want to stay safe. Now, how often should we change the battery of a smoke alarm?
If they have a changeable battery, we should change the battery once a year.
Once a year, awesome. So why don't you drop that in there? And I want you to wave your magic wand. I want you to say abracadabra,
Abracadabra.
hokey pokey.
Okey pokey.
Now it's time
Now it's time
for the very first jokey.
for the very first jokey.
All right, do you want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
All right, so how do you stop an astronaut's baby from crying?
I don't know how.
You rock it.
I see.
See what I did there? Awesome. So we just learned 2 skills, and now we're going to go on to skill number 3. And for skill number 3, we have our really good friend, Firefighter Dave, down at Cupertino Station, who's going to teach you all about home escape planning.
Do you know what we would do if our house caught on fire?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, how about we review the important skills for our home escape plan?
Sounds good.
All right, follow me. Say like it's bedtime. We're just getting ready to go to sleep, and we go to our bedroom. One of the most important things we could do at the very beginning is, come look at this. We want to shut our door.
Why is that?
It's important to shut our door because if there is a fire in our house, this door can actually protect us in our room and keep the fire from coming in.
Like a barrier.
Like a barrier, exactly. Okay, so now we're getting cozy, we get to bed, we're laying down and we fall asleep, and all of a sudden there's a fire in our house. Well, let's talk about what we do next. Come on over here. First, everybody do me a favor. Take a big deep breath. You feel that air going into your lungs? That's the good air. When there's a fire, it makes smoke, and smoke is bad air. Do we want to breathe bad air?
No.
We do not. Where does the smoke go? Does all that smoke go up or down?
Up.
It goes up. So if all the bad air is up here, where's the good air?
Down.
There. So, what we want to do is crawl low under smoke. Hold on, back up a little bit. Back up real quick. Let's talk about crawling. If we crawl on our bellies, we're going to slither like a snake, and that's going to take way too long. Do we want to take a long time to get out of a house that's on fire? No, we want to go quick. So we want to be up on our hands and knees. We want to get out. Now let's crawl low under the smoke to our door. But wait, before we open the door, we want to feel the door with the back of our hand to make sure it's not hot. Does this door feel cold or hot?
Cold.
Cold. If this door felt hot, what do you think is on the other side?
Fire.
Fire. And do we want to open it if there's fire on the other side?
No.
No. So, what do? That's only one way out of our house.
We should know at least two.
That's right. We need to know, hold up, 2 fingers. We need to know at least two ways of every room. So, if the door is one way, what's another way out of this room?
The window.
The window. Let's crawl to the window. Low on our hands and knees. Now, once we get to the window, the first thing we do is we want to open it on up. And you see this screen right here?
It's keeping us out.
This screen is not meant to keep you out. It's meant to keep bugs out from coming in to get you, right? Okay, so all you have to do, don't do it right now, is push on this screen really hard with your hand, and the screen will pop out. If you're on the first floor of your house, you can just crawl out of the window
Easy peasy.
and go to your meeting place. We'll talk about a meeting place in a second. But if we're on the second floor, would you want to hop out of the second story of a house?
No.
So there's a couple things you can do. The first is what's called a fire escape ladder. And this ladder is designed to hang from the window and create a ladder that you could climb down to get down safely from the second story. If you don't have one of these, the next best thing to do is to pop that screen out and then wave your hands outside the window and yell, "Help, help, I'm up here." Let me hear you guys yell. That's right. And you keep doing that until somebody hears you and the firefighters can come save you, okay? All right. Now, once we figured out at least 2 ways of every room and we learned how to crawl low under smoke, the next most important piece of our escape plan is
a meeting room.
having a meeting place. So we felt the door, it's safe to go through. Now walk with me and let's talk about our meeting place. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it first, okay? What's up?
And also you should feel the handle for a second because if there's also fire, the metal can get really hot.
That's right, but we always want to feel with the back of our hand, okay? So, when you guys go home tonight, it's really important to talk about with your family or the people you live with about a meeting place. And it's something that you want to talk about before the emergency happens because it's a plan for when an emergency does happen. So you talk about where do we go once we get out of the house. And you could be anywhere you guys decide it to be. It could be the tree out front. It could be the mailbox.
Could be outside.
It could be outside. It could be outside in the back house. It could be Anywhere that your family decides.
Not inside though, right? Because that's
Not
where
inside.
the fire is.
That's right. You don't want to be where the fire is. So, the important thing to remember is once you get out, you stay out. Say that with me. Once you get out,
you stay out.
That's right. So, once we get out of our house and we're outside of all that bad air and we're in the fresh, good air, then we head to our meeting
place.
And here we are. And what's the sign say?
The meeting place.
That's right. So, let's go over it. We learned that you crawl low under smoke, that you shut the door to your bedroom before you go to sleep, that you need to know at least how many ways out of every room?
2.
And once you get out, you stay out and you go to your meeting place. That's right. Very good, everybody.
Now it's time to teach you skill number 4. Brian, you're supposed to be teaching skill number 4.
I'll be back.
Go!
Hi,
Oh,
I have
hey.
a question. What would be the best thing to do in an emergency?
Well, let's talk about what an emergency actually is. Okay.
Okay,
Like if your neighbor's house was on fire, would that be an emergency?
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. What if your Wi-Fi was to go down?
No.
No, that's not an emergency. What if you're really hungry and you want some pizza?
No.
No. What if you were with your grandma and she had like a really bad medical emergency and got really, really sick?
For sure.
Yeah, that'd be definitely an emergency. What if somebody was trying to break into your house?
Yeah.
Those are all different types of emergencies, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so do you know what number you should dial in case of an emergency?
Yeah, 911, right?
911. Yeah, absolutely. So, like, this is a house phone or an office phone. And so all you would really do is you just pick it up and you make sure it's on and then you just push 911 and then you'll actually be able to talk on it, right? Do you have a cell phone? Oh yeah, you have a cell
Yeah, I
phone.
have a cell phone right here.
So you can do the same thing on your cell phone. Now the difference is this phone is connected with a wire right here. So it goes to the wall, and so the dispatchers, they will know a lot of your information already, like where you're calling from, your address, and things like that. Your cell phone, they may not know that information. So you have to be specific when you call and tell them where you are. Once they know where you are, then you have to tell them what the emergency is. Now, did you know that you can call 911 at any time of day?
Even in a holiday?
Yeah, holidays. So 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 911 is always available for you
That's
for
really
emergencies.
cool.
Yeah. There are actually 3 different types of first responders that can come help you when you call 911. Did you know what those are? I'll tell you. Okay, so you can have the police department show up, you can have the fire department show up, or you can have the paramedics show up. So depending on the emergency, you can have one of those 3. Sometimes you can have 2 of those 3. Sometimes you can have all 3 of those people all show up depending on the emergency.
But what if I accidentally call 911?
Oh, that's okay. Sometimes accidents happen. And so if you do accidentally call 911, you just stay on the line and let them know you had an accident and you accidentally called. And then they'll just thank you and then they'll hang up. But if it's a true emergency, it's really important that you stay on the phone the whole time until the dispatcher tells you that they're done asking questions, because they're going to ask a lot of questions. Those questions are important for first responders to know what we're going to. So they're going to ask you a lot of questions. Now, when they're asking those questions, the first responders are already on our way. So it's not delaying us. It's just that they're trying to get information from you to help you. And they're also getting information from you to help us help you when we get there. So just remember, in case of emergencies, we'll dial 911. Okay, you stay on the line and it's available any time of day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We're going to want to stay on the line with the dispatcher, answer all those questions, right? There's 3 different people that can show up to your house, 3 different first responders, the police, the fire department, or an ambulance. And that we're always here to help you when you call 911. Got it?
Got it.
All right.
Welcome back.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you so much for teaching that skill.
That could have been the most important skill we talked
I
about
know,
all day.
knowing the different types of help that you can get when you call 911 is super important. But you know what I think is more important right now?
I think it's time for some more magic.
Totally.
All right. Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right. Hey, so now it's time to put 2 more scarves into the bag.
Oh, I'll get the hats, you get the bag.
Okay. Oh boy.
Careful.
Is this mine?
That's your hat, this is my hat.
Okay. Can't do magic without our hats.
No, you cannot.
Oh, what about the magic wand?
Oh, we need the wand.
Aha, you hold that.
Okay.
I don't want to do that. Okay, so the dark blue scarf represents skill number 3, which is
Skill number 3.
which is home escape planning.
Yes.
Okay, so if your house catches on fire, the skill number 3 talks about all the different things that we need to make sure we remember to do. Do you remember how many ways we need to have out of each room?
We need to know 2 ways out of each room.
Out of each room. Now, if the bad air is up because of the smoke and the good air is down. Right? Do we walk in smoke or do we crawl low in smoke?
We crawl low in smoke.
Always crawl low.
Always crawl low.
And then if you're inside your house and you need to leave, it's important to practice that. But then outside your house, you need to make sure you have what?
A meeting place.
A meeting place to make sure everybody gets out and knows that everybody gets out. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and take that and put it in there.
Boom.
All right. Skill
Sounds
number
like good
4 was 911. Do you remember what 3 people can show up if a person dials 911?
If you dial 911, you can get the paramedics, you can get the police department, or you could get the fire department.
Yep, perfect. Now, is 911 available all the time or just sometimes?
All the time.
Absolutely. We'll take that one, that turquoise scarf, and we're going to put that one in there. So now we have 4 total scarves in there.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of magic.
All right.
Okay, abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
Hokey pokey.
Hokey pokey.
Now it's time.
Now it's time.
For another hilarious jokey.
You have a joke for me?
I do.
What is it?
Let me see if I can find one. Let's see. What kind of a key opens a banana?
What kind of key opens a banana?
A monkey.
A monkey? That's so funny. But do you know what also we need to do? I think we need to go to skill number 5. And for skill number 5, I asked one of our super awesome friends here at County Fire, Tyler, over at Campbell Station, to teach us some more skills.
Awesome.
All right, so let's send it on over to Tyler.
All right.
The next skill we're going to talk about is if any part of your clothes or your hair or anything like that, anything on you, your clothing catches on fire, okay? Fire needs oxygen to breathe. And if you give it more oxygen, what's the fire going to do? Is it going to get bigger or is it going to get smaller?
Bigger?
If you're feeding it oxygen, exactly, it's going to get bigger. So if you're running around and your clothes are on fire, that oxygen or that fire is going to get bigger because it's getting more oxygen, right? So it's really important to not run around and go ahead and touch your hair for me. If your hair catches, or if your shirt or your pants, any of that catches on fire, you're going to stop, right? First thing you're going to do is stop. And then you're going to drop to the ground, and then you're going to roll back and forth. And it's important, it doesn't matter what kind of ground you're on. It doesn't matter if you're on carpet or tan bark or in the grass. You just immediately stop. You're going to drop to the ground, and then you're going to roll back and forth so that fire can't get any more oxygen, okay? So I'll try it first here on the mat, and then you'll do it after me. How's that sound?
Okay.
All right? All right, so like I just talked about, now I'm going to demonstrate it first, and then you'll go. So if any part of my shirt catches on fire, my pants, my shoes, the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to stop. We're going to stop what we're doing. Here, I'm going to drop to the ground, and I'm going to make myself long, and I want to cover my face, make myself long like a hot dog, and then I'm going to roll back and forth and put that fire out so it's not getting any more oxygen. Okay? You want to try that? So what's the first thing you're going to do? Go through them all.
I'm going to stop, drop,
Make yourself long. Cover your face. There you go. Good job. Touch your shirt, touch your pants. If your pants catch on fire, even your shoes, you remember what you're gonna do? Can you show me?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Roll, 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 roll. Yes, that was perfect. Good job. All right, you guys remember what we're gonna do if our clothes catch on fire? Touch your shirt, touch your pants, or even if your shoes catch on fire, remember what we're gonna do? We're gonna stop, drop, and we're gonna roll. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. You guys slow down. Come over here real quick. Where's your helmet, buddy?
It's on my handlebars.
Okay. Well, and yours isn't buckled. Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to talk about a little bit of helmet safety here, you guys, okay?
Okay.
My name's Tyler. What's your name?
Max.
Max? What's your name?
Mia.
Nice to meet you guys. Come over here just a little bit. We're gonna look at my helmet. We're gonna look at your guys' helmets a little bit. So go ahead and put your helmet on. If you're under 18, it's really important that if you're riding a scooter, bicycle, rollerblades, anything, it's really important you've got your helmet on. Okay? So go ahead and put your helmet on. I'm going to kind of teach you guys how a good way to make sure that your helmet fits right and it's not going to fall off. So put your helmet on like this and take your 2 fingers, put them right up to your eyebrow. Just above your eyebrow, and the top of your helmet should be touching the top of those fingers, okay?
Mine does.
Good. All right, after you do that, now we're going to take our fingers and we're going to make a V. My helmet doesn't quite have straps like yours, but it's okay. You guys just have those V's, and those straps should lie just underneath your fingers on the outsides of your ear, okay?
Okay.
Looks good. And then once you do that, the next step is you're gonna wanna hear that click. So basically this is gonna keep the helmet on your head, okay? So go ahead and clip it. You should listen for that click.
I heard it.
You got it adjusted. Nice. Now go ahead and clip it and listen for that click. Awesome, that's what we're listening for. And now, to make sure the helmet stays on our head, we're gonna go ahead and put our finger underneath our jaw. I'm gonna tighten mine just a little bit and go, ah. You guys feel that strap underneath your jaw?
Yeah.
Good, that's just to make sure it's not gonna fall off, okay? Just really important you guys do that every time you guys go out riding anywhere. Make sure your helmet fits, because if your helmet's off, you get really hurt, okay?
Okay.
All right, well, you guys have fun today, all right? Ride safe.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now that we talked a little bit about fitting our helmets, we're going to talk about some safety tips for wearing our helmets and when. And so I know we talked about fitting into our helmet, but I just want you guys to remember how important it is, because it's the law that you guys wear your helmets, not just because we think we should. It's the law, and I think it's a great law because laws are put into place for our safety, right? And they're just there to try to keep you safe. So I think it's great. So one of the most important things about when you're wearing your helmet is if you fall down and you hit your head, you need to make sure that you replace that helmet. Because
I crash and then I want a new one, so I decided to buy a bigger one so that it fits me for many years.
So that's a really good question, because remember how we talked about it's important to fit your helmet? You don't want a helmet that's too big. I know you want to be able to wear it for a long time, but it's just really important. Your head's growing and you've got to really protect your brain and all these things in there, and you got to make sure that your helmet fits, because it's just really, really important. So you don't want to buy a helmet that's too big just because you'll be able to wear it later on, okay?
Okay.
All right, you guys, I got a really funny joke for you. You want to hear it?
What is it?
Why couldn't the bicycle stand up?
Why?
Because it was too tired.
Oh, I get it, because it's too tired.
Thanks, Firefighter Tyler, for all that super, super awesome information. Now we have to go on to do our next two scarves, because we already have All four. So we need to put our next two in.
Okay, 5 and
So
6.
this purple scarf represents our stop, drop, and roll skill, skill number 5. Now, Brian, when our clothes catch on fire, what do we immediately need to do?
Stop wherever you are, drop to the ground, cover your face and protect yourself, and then roll. back and forth
Absolutely.
Until the fire goes out.
Until the fire goes out. Good. So why don't you put this purple scarf in there? So now that we just did our stop, drop, and roll scarf, we need to do our next scarf. So skill number 6, which was helmet safety. So
Magenta?
this magenta scarf represents our helmet safety skill. Now, Brian, when you're wearing a helmet,
Yeah.
how do we make sure that it's properly level?
Oh, so he was just saying we take the 2 fingers, we put them above the eyebrow, and then make sure the helmet's sitting level on top.
Absolutely. Now, how should the side straps be placed?
Oh yeah, we take our fingers like this, and then we make sure that the helmet, one strap is behind and one strap is in front.
Right, so making sure our ears are in between the straps. Now, what is the most important sound we need to hear when we have our helmet on?
Oh yeah, we make sure click, we hear the click, and then you can put your 2 fingers underneath there and go, ah.
To make sure that it's just the right tightness.
just right
It's not too tight and it's not too loose. Awesome. So why don't you drop that magenta scarf in there? I'm going to grab the magic wand.
Do I get to hold it?
No, I'm going to hold it this time. And I'm going to say abracadabra, hokey pokey.
Pokey pokey.
Now it's time
Now it's time.
for another amazing jokey.
Amazing jokey. Do you have a joke?
I do have a joke. Brian, how does an astronaut cut his hair on the moon?
I don't know how.
Eclipse it. That's such a good one, right? Awesome. So now we need to learn our final 2 skills, because right now we have 6 scarves representing our 6 skills in here, but we need to add those other 2. And I know the perfect person who can help us with that. We're going to send it on over to Campbell Station so firefighter paramedic Annabelle can teach us some more skills.
Yes.
Awesome. So we'll see you back here in a second.
Okay, so there are laws that are put into place to keep us safe. And one of those laws is to wear our seatbelt. Do you think the firefighters wear seatbelts when we're going to emergencies?
Yes, of course.
That's right. So let's go ahead and learn how to wear them properly.
Okay.
So another skill we're going to learn today is how to be safe in a vehicle. Do you think we go on lots of car accidents?
Yes, because people don't wear the seatbelts properly or just aren't paying attention.
That's correct. So today we're going to talk about how to properly wear a seatbelt while you're in a vehicle, because it is against the law to not wear a seatbelt in a vehicle.
Wow.
So we have 2 parts to the seatbelt. This is the shoulder strap, and this is the part that goes around your waist. Can you show me where your shoulder blade is?
Right here.
Right there, okay? So this should be right on your shoulder blade. And that's your clavicle, the bone that it should rest on. And you're gonna plug it in and make sure this hip belt is right at your hips. Does that feel like it's right at your hips?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so I think you'd be safe if we were to start this fire engine and go for a ride. So one more thing, if the seat belt is actually touching your neck, you might need a booster seat. And what a booster seat does is it actually boosts you up so that the seat belt rests properly on your shoulder. And that's what we want. Okay, kids, I have a joke for you. Why did the math book go to the doctor?
I don't know why.
Because he had so many problems. Thank you for coming to the Campbell Fire Station. Today we're going to learn how to cross the street safely. So come on this way. Okay, kids, in order for us to be safe while crossing the street, we need to use a crosswalk. We have one that goes this way and one that goes that way. So do you think it's safe to cross the street right now?
No, it's not, actually.
Why do you think that is?
Because there are too many cars. One of them could run us over.
Correct. So what do we have here that can help us cross the street?
A nice shiny button.
Okay, so let's press the button so that way we can cross the street safely.
Okay.
So we're looking across the street at the red hand. Do you think it's safe to cross right now?
No, the red hand means stop.
Okay, the red hand means stop. Good job. So what color is the hand going to turn when it's safe for us to cross?
It's going to turn into a white person.
Okay, then that is what we'll wait for. Okay, so before we cross the street, we look left, right, and left. And then once we see the white hand, the white crosswalk signal where it's safe, then we're going to walk into the street. We're going to keep our heads up and continue to look left and right and left. Okay, ready? Let's go.
Now.
Okay, continue to look left, right, left, until we are safe on the sidewalk. Good job.
So cool.
Okay, so we look left, right, left. Okay, now let's cross the street. Keep your head up and continue to look left and right to make sure that we're safe across the street.
All right, so now we're gonna press the button to go back. Oh, whoa, whoa. No devices again. Now all we gotta do is wait for the hand to turn red again. That's all we have to do. Oh look, it's white now. Come on, don't put any devices. Good job.
All right, so the white scarf represents skill number 7, which was seatbelt safety.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so do we wear the seatbelt when we're in a car? Do we wear the seatbelt sometimes or all the time?
We wear our seatbelt all the time.
All the time, right. And then the seatbelt, can you remind us like what areas are important?
We want to make sure that the strap is going over our shoulder or our clavicle and it's not digging into our neck. And we need to make sure that it comes across our body. And then you need to hear the click, so it needs to click in order for us to move in the vehicle. And then our lap belt goes straight over. We want to make sure it's not twisted and it's nice and snug up against our hip bones.
Perfect. Okay, we'll put that one in there. So now we should have 7 scarves in there.
7.
There's only one left.
One more.
Which is skill number 8.
Our last skill.
Our last skill. So it's our last scarf.
Okay.
Okay, skill number 8 was pedestrian safety.
Right.
We talked about making sure that if you're going to cross the street, you make sure you do it in a crosswalk. Do you remember what we do before we enter the crosswalk?
Before we enter a crosswalk, we always look left, look right, and then look left again, just in case a car comes up and we want to be prepared.
Yep. And then we also talked about devices, because a lot of kids are using devices nowadays, and making sure those devices are down.
Are down. We always keep our devices down, our heads up, and when we're crossing this, the crosswalk, we're always scanning side to side, making sure that no cars are coming, and we always walk in a crosswalk. We don't run.
Yeah, but we can look for those distracted drivers.
So just put that in there. Wait, so now we have 8.
There's 8 scarves in there.
Okay, cool.
All right, so grab that magic wand.
All right.
I think it's time for another joke.
I'm so excited.
All right.
So it goes abracadabra,
Hokey pokey.
hokey pokey.
Now it's time
Now it's time
for another hilarious jokey.
for another hilarious jokey. Okay, Brian, do you have a joke for us?
I do.
You do? What is it?
What did the Dalmatians say after lunch?
What did the Dalmatians say after lunch? I don't know what.
Oh, that hit the spots.
Oh, I get it, because there's spots everywhere. That was a good one.
Yeah.
So we have 8 scarves in there, right? So we completed all of our 8 skills. But before we find out which skill was the most important that we learned today, I think we should do a recap.
Yeah, like a review.
Yeah, let's do a review.
Perfect.
So skill number 1 that we learned was matches and lighters. And we learned that if you ever find matches and lighters, you need to pick them up and give them to an adult so that they can put them in a safe place.
And then we went into skill number 2, which is how often we test our smoke alarms and how often we should change our batteries in our smoke alarms. So we test our smoke alarms once a month and we change our batteries once a year.
And skill number 3 was a really, really big skill, and that was home escape planning. In our home escape planning skill, we learned that you need to know 2 ways out of every room, so a door and a window. You need to crawl low under smoke and go outside, and that every family needs to have a meeting place. And once you're outside, you stay outside.
Skill number 4, we talked about something very important, which was 911. So we talked about the 3 different types of people that could show up if you dial 911, which was the fire department, the police department, or the paramedics. We also talked about that 911 is available all the time, not just sometimes.
In skill number 5, we learned what to do if our clothes catch on fire. So if our clothes are on fire, the first thing we need to do is stop, then we drop down to the ground, we cover our face, and we roll back and forth until that fire's out. So we stop, drop, and roll.
Skill number 6, we talked about helmet safety. So we talked about learning how to put your helmet on safely, making sure it's level with the 2 fingers above your eyebrow. We learned that you should make sure the straps go in front and behind your ear. Make sure you hear the click, and then test it by saying ah to make sure that it's not too tight. And we made sure that we talked about making sure you wear your helmet all the time, not just sometimes.
In skill number 7, we learned about seatbelt safety. So we always wear our seatbelts whenever we are in a vehicle. We want to make sure that that seatbelt is in the proper place. So we want to make sure that that shoulder belt is going over our shoulder or over our clavicle. We hear the click because we never want to drive in a vehicle if we don't hear that click when we're putting on our seatbelt. We want to make sure our lap belt is nice and snug up against our hips and that it's not twisted. And we also learned that the safest spot for us to sit in a vehicle is in the back seat.
Yeah, and then we went into skill number 8, which was pedestrian safety. So we learned that making sure to find a crosswalk if you're going to cross the street. Before you enter the crosswalk, you're going to look left, then right, then left again. We're going to watch for distracted drivers. We're going to make sure we put our devices down and keep our heads up. Scanning and walking across the street is the best way.
Great, so we just had a really awesome recap of all 8 skills that we learned. So all those 8 skills were all represented with all of these 8 scarves. And Brian, we need to find out which skill was the most important skill that we learned today.
Yeah, so we got to pull a scarf out?
Yeah, we do. But I think I know just the person
I think I know who you're
to find out what skill is the most important.
Yeah, we got to go find him though.
All right, come on, follow me, let's go.
Let's go.
Chief Bowden, I'm so glad I found you.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great, so I need your help.
Okay.
So Brian and I just got reviewing the 8 different skills, safety skills that our firefighters taught our children today. And I need you to help me with the last magic trick.
Sure, happy to help.
Awesome. Brian actually just got called out on a call with his crew, so he can't be here. So it's just going to be you and me doing this last magic trick. That
Okay,
cool?
sounds good.
Awesome. So we learned 8 different safety skills. And with each safety skill, we placed a scarf into our magic bag. Now what I need you to do is I need you to do some magic, and then I need you to reach in and pull out one scarf, which is going to represent the most important skill that we learned today.
Just one of the 8 scarves?
Just one of the 8
okay.
scarves.
I can
good?
do that.
Okay, but you can't do magic without a magic hat.
Okay.
And you need a magic wand.
Awesome.
So what I need you to do is I need you to wave this magic wand. I need you to say abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
Hokey pokey.
Hokey pokey.
Now it's time.
Now it's time
The very last jokey.
for the very last jokey.
Do you have a joke for us?
I have one.
Let's hear it.
What did the right eye say to the left eye?
I don't know what.
Between us, something smells.
Oh, I get it, because your nose is in the middle. That's such a good one. All right, Chief Bowden, I need you to reach into that bag. I need you to pull out one scarf, which is going to be the most important.
Just
we learned
one.
today. Just
Okay. I got one.
Oh, wait, what? Wait.
I got a whole bunch. What happened?
What does that mean? It means that they're all important. Oh, good job, Chief Bowden. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
So that means that all the skills we learned today are just as important. So thank you so much. Now I got to get back to Brian to tell him which was the most important skill.
Awesome. They're all 8 are important, and thank you for teaching them.
Thank you so much, Chief.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow. Who knew that all 8 skills were that important?
All 8.
Oh my goodness.
It was so magical.
Oh my goodness. I know that the Chiefs have magic up their sleeves.
Absolutely. Well, friends, thank you so much for joining us today and learning about all 8 of our important skills. It would be great if you could go home and talk to your friends and family about all these safety things we taught you today. And just remember, until next time, if you see us out driving around in the fire engine, don't forget to wave.
Bye, friends. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we hope you have a fire-safe day.